y'all ready
Hey
for
guys,
this?
welcome to Dozer's RC Play. On today's video, we're going to check out the scratch build of the Big Rock Success, known as the Mega Rock or the Extreme Basher. So one of the first things I want to do is get the diff lube set up in all of the front, rear, and center. And they're all brand new. I got these from RC All-Wheel Drive, purchased from AliExpress. Great deal, super great price. This is supposed to be a 50 tooth gear, which looks great. This is supposed to be 300K, which it's very strong, but almost empty. So we're gonna get these wrapped up with 300 in the center, 100 in the front, and 50 in the rear. That's how I like it. So that's what I'm gonna go with and start from there. Okay guys, so here it is with the front end done and also the rear end done. Making some progress as we go along. We got the diffs built up how we like it. Up here we're looking at the aluminum shock towers, the 4mm shock extensions, also the aluminum bulkheads. We can flip this around. Oh, we see that nice shiny chassis there. Looking good, 775. Nice and thick. Then on this side you're looking at also the aluminum, the top plate and the upper plate, and we also have the upgraded metal cups on both the front and the rear. Back here in the rear we have the hinge beam kit, both sides of course, as well as I forget what this is called for the tower to tower support bar, the upper mount, and let's see, that's already locked down a little bit. We have the ESC plate on this side, motor mount, chassis support arms, the receiver to go with our radio link remote, and that's it for now. I just wanted to show you what we're working with over here. Here's how we're doing it. We got a bag full of screws, which is now laid out. It's not a real kit. I kind of made it myself. And then I printed out from Horizon Hobby their exploded view page to give myself a little bit of a reference point. And then when I go into Horizon Hobby's website, I go to the shoppable explosion to find out the size of the screws for each and every part. It's quite the process, but I'm loving it. I'll show you guys on an update here in just a second. Okay, we got a few more pieces installed. I'm just gonna go over them real quick and show you what we got. Just come over here to the side. You can see that we have the servo mount along with the servo, which is the AGF 55 kilogram waterproof servo. We also have the chassis support arms up front and rear. Down here on the bottom of the chassis is the motor mount plate and the center diff mount, along with the ESC plate, motor mount, and we are waiting for some gaskets to get these pieces put together so we can throw on our plastics and see what our next step's going to be after that. Alright, so as you can see, we got our electronics in and done. I already did the test. Looks great, sounds great. I really love the way it's turning out, so let me just give it a little turn around this way. You know, as I was saying before, I kind of put this together as a do-it-yourself kit. And, you know, so that's a lot of work as it is involved with it, with just that by itself. But then when you're going through everything, you have to make it how you want it, how you want your setup to be. So every little thing, like even just the battery case, you know, you want to put the longer screws with bolts, washers and bolts attached, and a heavy duty cushion underneath the battery. And then I put in a high powered fan. So the high powered fan needs a separate power line run into another battery that will just mount up another 3S battery on top of the other 6S battery. And then we have a 40mm fan that's going to run off the ESC. And then little things like, if you look underneath the motor, there's just a tiny pad that I have under there for a little mitigation under the motor, as well as underneath the ESC and the servo. So, you know, and then of course you rebuild your diffs how you want them, your shocks how you want them. You got to change oil and grease and everything. So yeah, it makes it the ultimate setup, but it's very time consuming. So put a lot of effort into it and we're almost there. I can't wait to get out and give it a rip. So check it out. Okay guys, there she is. I can't even tell you how excited I am. She came out absolutely awesome. So we got everything put together and just waiting on the body for her. But I can't wait. I got to get her out, get her a little rip, get her a little test run. You see she is the Big Rock 6S. Basically going to be my Mega Rock, but we're going to get out there, rip it up, and then you'll probably see it the next time with the body. So we'll catch up in a minute. Okay, well here it is. I am literally blown away. I had no idea that there was just so much detail on this body. Every part of it, every piece of it just looks amazing. When I look at it super close, I guess probably because this is the first time I've seen it live, and yeah, it doesn't do it justice. It looks absolutely amazing. And I feel great about it. So I think the next step I'm going to do is just kind of wrap it up. The bulkheads, front and rear, shock towers, of course, front and rear, motor mount sitting on a also aluminum motor mount plate, chassis braces, chassis to shock towers, front and rear. We have a ESC plate. We have front and rear steel diff covers, bulkheads, and then we have the 4mm shock standoffs. In the shocks, we have 80 weight in the front, 100 weight in the rear. We have front and rear suspension mount and hinge pin kits. And then we also have the aluminum top plate, the front upper suspension. And then in the steering, we added the bearings. So we upgraded the bearings throughout the whole car. You can see the aluminum steering servo mount, also the arms, the rear center brace, and that's right there. Steel input shaft cups, one in the rear, also in the front. Then if you look in the back, well, you don't have to look at it, but I also, for the battery tray, I basically upgraded it. I shifted it to the back first of all, and then I put in longer screws, added washers and lock nuts, and then I used a heavy duty dense foam down underneath the battery, so I like how that turned out. Then our electronics are basically the same stock system that comes with the Big Rock, the ready to run Big Rock, which is the 2050 kV Spectrum motor, 150 amp ESC. Then I also connected a high powered fan, which I ran a separate line down the center shaft to run a separate battery for, which I have it hooked up to a 3S battery. Then the pinion, I'm running a Robinson Racing 16 tooth pinion. And then our radio link transmitter and receiver. And then you can see the lines coming out of the battery cable. Actually, first I reduced this down to one line, so there's only one cable for the battery instead of the dual split cables. And then the cables coming out of there are for the telemetry reading to get a direct battery reading for to my remote. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I'm going with back flips. These are my favorites. I have 13mm extensions on both sides, front and rear, of course. And you know, I ran it that way on my fire team for some time, and I thought that, you know, they'd be too long or it wouldn't work out, and it's been killer. So I decided just to go with it, and we'll see what happens. If I have problems with all the extra added weight, we'll go from there. So that's the guts of this beast, this new monstrous Mega Rock, and I love it. I put a lot of hard work into it. You know, this was my main tool right here. I had that. I had this. And then I had the exploded diagram. I would go onto Horizon Hobby and I would look up the shoppable exploded diagram, and I'd find what part I was working on. I'd find the screw, and then I'd go into the details of the screw just to get the size of that one screw, and then I'd know what size screw needed to go in that one hole. And then times that by about 500 for the entire build. Because I didn't have a kit, I just went for it. I built it piece by piece. I'll show it through the clips, or you might have already seen them, where I put together the front end, the rear end, then kind of built the electronics into it and slowly put everything together. But now the body came in late, which is a whole nother story, but we got it and we're rolling with it. Okay, so that's basically it. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. I'm super excited about this RC, this car, this project, this build. I had a ton of fun working on it, putting it together. You know, honestly, I put it together in about a day and a half, but then I was waiting for the body, and let's see, I had to wait for the gaskets to come in so I could, put the bulkheads on the right way, and that was pretty much it. So, just wanted to give you one last look at it for myself. This is probably the last time we'll see it looking this pretty, and we're gonna get out there, give it a bash, and have some fun with it. So thanks for hanging out with me and through this build. and we'll see you out there.